Shiurim and Brocha. I want to start sharing with you a very fascinating sefer. There are sforim that capture the imagination and become part of, it's one of those sefers that whenever I need a bit of chizik, I can just open up on almost any page and I'll find exactly what I'm looking for. It was written by the Pieseno Rebbe, the Aish Kodesh, Chasidic, who was Nebuch, the last living Chasidic Rebbe in the Warsaw ghetto. And after the liquidation, he was taken out and killed in a death camp. But he was a very fascinating he wrote a sefer, we've talked about this also, called Choives HaTalmidim, which was a textbook for young boys, 14, 15-year-old kids. The Chasidic Rebbe sat down and wrote a textbook on how to be a good student. And it's learned in many yeshivas till this very day. I have it here. I've given Shiurim on it. But now I want to go through this sefer called Tzav, which is the healing of the soul. It's a spiritual journal of a Chasidic Rebbe. So what we're going to do is I will give, every time we discuss it, we'll give a bit of a picture of of the Rebbe's biography, and then we'll do one chapter. Usually there's only a page to each chapter. And we can talk about it. And I'll ask you, if you find this captivating or of interest, share it with others so that we can build up a community that's learning this sefer together. That would be a big schus to Aish Kodesh. Our shul carries his name because of the magnitude of the man, and he had no children. They were killed in the war. So I thought it would be a schis. So I'm going to open up, first of all, with a bit of his history. So the Rebbe's name was Klominus Kalman. He was born to a very meyichustic, very established Hasidic rabbinical family. The holy tzaddikim, the Maggid of Koznitz, the Rebbe Melech of Lezhensk, the Choyze from Lublin, and the Moor of Shumash, all these were his ancestors. And his own father, named was Rebbe Elimelech of Grodzitsk, right? This was a second Zivik. He was quite elderly when the Aish Kodesh, when his son was born. So, as I said, he was a Ben Zakin. He had a younger brother, probably a year or so younger than him, who ended up being in Tel Aviv. What happened was that before the Milchama, his brother they called him Ha'admor, the Rebbe of the Chalutzim. He was involved with more of the Zionist circles of the Orthodoxy, and he went to Eretz Yisrael, and he was the only one who was saved from the Mishpacha. Everyone else was killed. So, and it was his schus to be able to publish the Rebbe's sforim posthumously. So, but we'll talk about him as we get on. So, the Rebbe was, as I said, a child of the Grodzitsk Rebbe, of the Rebbe Melech, and it says that I'm just picking out something that struck me. It says, when the Rebbe was only 2 years of age, so his father would put kritlach, written bakoshes. Kritlach means wishes, prayers. He would put them underneath his pillow at night while he was sleeping, because he felt that this child had such an innate neshama that was so holy that even as a child, it would bring a schus to the person's bakosha, the person's needs. So they said that there's one incident that left such an indelible mark on this child's sensitive neshama, that he spoke about it years later when he said it was on Hashana Rabbah, right? And his father, the Tzaddik, would spend the whole day in the basement with the Chasidim. And it was the Hashanas, I can imagine, it must have been something. And the young child, he was 2 years old, came in starting to cry. Tati, Tati. And his father was crying by davening. So the child got this haggish and it caught him up. So the father answered him, he said, my man kind, my son, as you're crying for me, saying, Tati, Tati, do you see how much I'm crying for unsere Tati in heaven? Yes, this is the atmosphere that this child was living with. So seven weeks before his third birthday, the Rebbe's father died. So he became a Yosem. The carrier of all that tremendous Yichus and Chassidus and Yiddishkeit, this tradition of richness, would now have to go and become that what he was going to become by himself. So we'll pick up on his life story as we go along. I'm opening up now to, because I spoke about this, the first chapter online, I don't want to, so we'll pick up on the second chapter. And he says like this, the Rebbe says, if your life's aim, your will, what you want out of your life, is to serve Hashem with a constant improvement and further growing of connection, and to reach the age, it's interesting, reach the age of 70, beyond your bar mitzvah level, then here is what you have to do. Now, interestingly, 70 was a very big zokin in those days. He throws that out as that is the epitome. So he says, if you want to grow beyond the bar mitzvah boys, because unfortunately we all know this, that many times people spiritually stop growing at the bar mitzvah. Thank you very much. Got the presents, got the sforim, got the tefillin. That's me. That's my. So he said, you want to grow, you want to come. That when you're 70, you're going to be beyond bar mitzvah. You're not going to be just an overgrown bar mitzvah bacher with a white beard. So he says, this is how you're going to do it. This is how to grow. Okay. Each year, clarify a goal. Pick something. And envision the actualized you of the next year. So again, clarify a goal, take upon yourself a kabbalah, something that you want to work on. And now, envision yourself for a year's time from now, how you're going to look having fulfilled that goal that you chose. So you visualize who this you will be, what your attainments are going to be, what your daily life will be, what your character, what your inner essence. Yeah? And then use this envisioned you, right, as a gauge to know how far you still have to go. Is your present daily progress enough to create that reality of the you that you want it to be? Now, if next year comes and you have not actualized that you haven't reached that goal, it's as if your life has been cut short. In America, we say you have a shtickle waste of space. Like you what can I say? Because you're meant to grow. The new you was aborted. It's not alive now. You're still the guy that you were then. You're still the old you. Or perhaps even years ago, because it could go on every year the same thing. So this is the meaning of Avram was old, advanced in years, says the Torah, right? Avram of this year was the advanced Avraham of this year, not the Abraham of the past. So we have to take on what the Rebbe is trying to bring out here. It's not good enough to say, of course I want to daven better, especially for I'm speaking these words while we're still in isolation, a lockdown, whatever the bad word is for the week. So we have time to think, and everyone's, I'm going to change, I'm going to do this. Yeah. We all have a tikkun to fulfill. We have to do these things. We have to grow. So what the Rebbe is saying is, you sit yourself down at a particular moment. It could be your birthday, it could be an event, it could be a specific yontif, and you say, in a year's time, I want to work on, let's say, shachas. I want to work on shachas. And envision in your mind how the you of a year from now will look if you've grown and worked on that mitzvah, that shachas. And say, oh yeah, I won't talk. That's me. That's what I want to be. Engage yourself in that. Say that's as you start working on this particular. Say yeah, this is. I'm working towards that goal. But if chas v'shalom in a year's time, you get up in the morning and say you're the same old guy you were a year ago, if not even worse. You lost a year. I mean, you didn't do it. It's important that we be mindful of the fact that we're meant to be growing. If not, we're going to have kids' minds. We'll be a kid, and that's not natural. So Hashem gave us a gift. And the gift that we have is that we have the yichayos, we have the ability to grow, to expand. And now things are, people are quoting with shilos. It's a very tumultuous time, but it's also a very restful time because we can't do everything. We can't get on the treadmill of life. Things all change. So be in the iron. Figure out a couple of things. Like that little nuance that I'm always lacking. The brucha achroina that I gobble up or I forget to say. These couple of things. A year's time from now, I'm not going to be the guy to forget. I'll always have that in mind. In a year's time from now, I'll be better in that particular nakuda. And then when we meet again in a year's time, you could say to yourself, we'll play this again. See, Abba, did I grow? And if not, when then? Sure. So that's one chapter. Next Wednesday we'll do the next chapter, B'li Neder. We'll talk a bit more about the Rebbe's life. The Rebbe was a fascinating individual. I told you once, I think in one of our shmuzim, that the Bava Rebbe, Reb Shloime, was in Varsha for a meeting of all the Rabbanim. It was a famous meeting that the world knows about this, the Varshava Siva. And he took time out to sit for several hours with the Pieseno Rebbe, Machaber from our Sefer here, the Aish Kodesh, because he was such a goyen in Chinuch. And the Baba Ruvzach Shlomo was the Rosh Yeshiva of the Baba Yeshiva at that time. So he needed to know. He sought out the Rebbe's expertise. And this is just, the Rebbe used to play music. He wrote prescriptions. He was an accomplished the understanding. Okay, we'll talk about it. I want you to learn who this Rebbe was. Okay? And we should learn his holy words, his journal, his life stories. All my best.